Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Exploring Elite Dangerous. Over 1 year ago, in April 2015, I left the inhuman inhabited space for a deep space exploration expedition. You may well have seen my recent video detailing some of that journey. I'm now here over 20,000 light years away, making my slow way back towards Earth and humanity. It's been an epic and monumental journey. Along the way, of course, I've seen all manner of amazing sights, but also, in addition to that, it has been very trying at times. It's difficult when you're out here on your own to keep pushing on, to keep jumping, to keep travelling further into space. But it's always worth it because around every corner there's always something that I want to see, something I haven't quite seen before, or something that piques my curiosity, like nebula. And here, on the very edges of the galactic core, I've come across yet another nebula. This one blue like some others, and of course it's procedurally generated, so it doesn't look that different to some of the ones I've seen before, but they're always worth looking inside because you never know what you're going to find in there. I've said before that there seems to be different types of explorers within the game. There's those that like to scan every planet, every star, and are out here to raise their rank and increase their capital. But for me, it's not about that. I actually rarely scan. I do a system scan, scanning every single body out here, but I don't do detailed scans, or at least very rarely. For me, it's all about discovery. It's all about the experience of flying and coming across sites that interest me. Whether that's a particular combination of stars, or whether it's just the lay of the land on a moon or planet I come across, I rarely know what it is that's going to interest me until I come across it. And it's that which drives me forward, it's that which keeps me searching, it's that which keeps me looking around the next system. Whilst I've been out here, much has changed within the world of Elite Dangerous. I left for this expedition long before Horizons was even announced, long before we even knew what the expansion was going to be, or even if there was going to be one. So therefore I'm out here without an SRV, meaning I can't drive around on the surface of planets with this particular character. But that said, I do have the ability to descend down to planetary surfaces and fly along them. And that is always very nice, getting flybys and flying through canyons and over mountains. And although sometimes I do fly a little bit too fast and a little bit too close to the planetary surface, and perhaps risk crashing and losing all the discovery data I've made, well, it's still an opportunity I don't like to pass up. Of course, one of the other major events that has occurred since I've been out here has been the Distant Worlds expedition, and I was fortunate enough to have another account that I could go on that trip with. And although I didn't make it to the end as I was away at that particular time, I did manage to participate in a good portion of that expedition. And of course, it was quite an experience to fly along with other players out here in the depths of space. Approaching this new nebula, I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to find in there. There are still many nebula within the game that are completely undiscovered by other commanders. And as you fly around, you do occasionally bump into these. But even still, many of them do have systems that are fully discovered by other players. So on this occasion, I wasn't to know what I was going to find until I got in there. The method of finding undiscovered nebula is no big secret. You simply fly either very low from the galactic plane or fly high above it. There's plenty of nebula dotted out about there, and they don't all show up on the galactic map from a distance. In fact, many of the smaller ones only appear once you're zoomed up close to them on the galactic map. And now it turned out that this particular nebula was very sparsely populated in terms of number of systems that are actually present there. As you can see here, many of the planets and many of the moons within the systems were still undiscovered, but a lot of the major bodies had already been discovered by other people, so it wasn't a totally undiscovered nebula, but it was a very unusual looking nebula. Just look out here how it's situated against the galactic core and the blackness of space. It's precisely for this reason that I continue to explore out here. The pursuit of finding new combinations and new configurations of planet, nebula and moons. Now, whilst many may say that planets look the same throughout the game, it's unlikely there's a moon exactly like this one orbiting just as close to a massive ringed gas giant against a backdrop of a beautiful blue nebula like this. But that said, there is still a vast number of stellar bodies that are still not present within the game, most notable of which are comets, planetary auroras, and a not insignificant number of star types. Patch 2.1 is right around the corner though, and with that update is going to come a number of graphical updates and enhancements. Some of those include enhanced planetary surface materials, so planets like this should be looking a lot better than they currently do, and some graphical improvements to the asteroids and ring systems as well. There's also going to be an overhaul of the lighting system, so all in all, with those graphical enhancements due to arrive in patch 2.1, it's more than likely that I will head back to this very location again. As I was flying around the surface of this moon, itself situated very close to a ringed gas giant, I decided to head on out and check out that gas giant itself, a decision which turned out to be very well rewarded. On initial approach to that gas giant, well, it didn't look too much different to anything we've seen before, but as soon as the star was behind the gas giant, as soon as the star was in eclipse, I realised that this was looking to be a very spectacular and stunning location. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. This is a new episode of my old series Imperial Runner, and as you can see I'm heading back to my Imperial Clipper. It's an old favourite of mine, and as I've been travelling around the galaxy for a long time, I've been in my asp for a long while now and not had a chance to get into this ship. Unfortunately it's not all that close by and I'm stuck here in my Vulture, so I'm going to need to go pick up my asp.